Right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Commodore. How are you doing? Right. Even last week we start our discussion. So we discuss about some issues pertaining to learning biology. So today we have to continue from that point. Right. And we were short of some of the materials last time. I think that exam paper, you can collect it today. Ask from Luxury Uncle. Illaganda. When people we discuss biology, those who join with the class today, we did a small part last time, so don't worry about that. Simply copy the notes, right? And then you can watch the previous week recording also attached. We send a message. You can request for that message which contain the YouTube links. Thank you. Which has the YouTube links for the last week class. Right, Eka Balanda. In the meantime, we'll go with a small summary. Right, we were discussing about issues pertaining to biology. We were discussing about issues pertaining to biology. Now we learn biology. Biology. We said this is the bio life. This is life. Living. Logy is the study of. We said that. So studying about living things, biology. You learn people some main branches in this one, and then you learn the main branches as the zoology, botany, and the microbiology. And then you also learn people, there are various other fields of study under each. So we talked about the cell biology, histology, histology. Then what's next field? Anatomy. Then yes, anatomy, physiology. Then after that, biochemistry. Then we learn about genetics, and then finally ecology. Finally, we said ecology. So these are the different fields. So we said that zoology, animal study, and animal cells. Animal study, their tissues. Animals and the anatomy, animals and physiology, animals and their biochemistry, animal genetics, animal ecology like that. Same like the botany also. And the plants and their cells, plants and their tissue, plants and their anatomy, plants and the physiology, plants and biochemistry, genetics, ecology. Same like microorganisms. Sometimes microorganisms and cells. We said that people tissues are not clear for all microbes, so we have an issue with that. Anatomy, certain level we can discuss. Function we can discuss, biochemistry, genetics, ecology, no issue. And then we will reset them issues pertaining to biology. Issues pertaining to biology. We have a list of problems. First one we said that learning of biodiversity, understanding and studying of biological diversity. Understand and study of biodiversity. Second one, what we said, second main problem, understanding human understand human body. Human body. Right? Understand human body. And then third one, what we said, people? The management of resources. What we said, the title, the sustainable management of resources, sustainable use and management of natural resources. I will take that. Sustainable use and management of resources. Sustainable use. Ne? Fourth one, people, this is where we have to start today. Ne? This is where we have to start today. Right? So we'll talk about people sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. Right. We didn't discuss this yet, so we'll talk about it. No? Sustainable food production. Fifth one, people, we talk about the understand plant life. Then people, sixth one is the understanding of diseases and causes. Understand diseases and causes. And then people, finally, we talk about the legal and ethical issues, solving some legal and ethical issues. Solving some legal and ethical issues. Solving some legal and ethical issues. So these are like the topics that we have to discuss. So we learn, understand, and study of the biodiversity, and then human body, sustainable use and management we discuss. No, we didn't. What we discussed then only first part, only second. We didn't complete the note for human body, did we? Yes, no, we didn't write. Show me human body and its function. Human body you wrote me. මොන හරි කිව්වද ඊයේ සිට මතක් කරන්න කියලා මට. Right. So we discuss people. We learn about, understand and study of. We discuss about the understand and understanding biological diversity. Understanding biological diversity. Understanding biological diversity. I'll correct that. Understanding biological diversity. Right. You learn, people, when we say biological diversity, we learn, people, biological diversity comprises some parts. Ne? What are those three main parts of biological diversity? We said species diversity. What we said the second one, people? Ecosystem diversity. Ecosystem diversity. What we said the third one, people? Third one is the genetic diversity. Genetic diversity. So biological diversity, learning biological diversity is an issue and a challenge. What is the reason, people? 10 to 100 million species on Earth. But what is that estimated number? Are we sure about that? This can't be a perfect number, isn't it? If someone says, I'm going to give you 10 rupees or 100 rupees, right? You are not sure never what amount you're going to receive. Same like that. 10 to 100 million. 10 to 100 million. Chetana. Chetana. 10 to 100 million species present on Earth. Right? And what is the estimated number, right? We learn people how to estimate. Then we can count the number of students here in this class and multiply by the number of classes present in this institution. So we have an estimated number, same estimate. And then we say people, species diversity, the studied number is 1.4 million. We have studied 1.4 million. So you understand if you take 10 million as the estimated number, minimum number, then we have a lot to study, another, I think, 8.6, 800,000, 860,000, oh, yes. We had to study. If you take 10 million, 10 million growth, 8 million and 8.6 million we have to study. If you take 100 million, 98.6 million is remain to study. So for the last 2000 years time period, or even more than that, we have done only this part. So studying biological diversity, the species diversity of the biodiversity is a challenge. Ecosystems also we learn, we cannot reach to all ecosystems on Earth. So many ecosystems are there, especially we discuss people never. Deep ocean exploration is a challenge. We don't have enough technology resources to do that enough. So all the ecosystems on Earth, we have not studied them yet. We have partially studied them. So that's a challenge too. Third one, what is that, people? Genetic diversity. Individually, we can see differences present. Thin people are there, tall people present, short people present. Some students are shorter, some students are darker. They are dark people, some are fair. So variation present. Each character is determined by people DNA. Each character determined by DNA. So DNA level diversity present among a species. Individually, you all are having different DNA given by your ancestors, by your great-great-grandmother. Sometimes you look like your grandmother, great-great-grandmother. If you have a photo or something, look how similar you are. So these genes are coming from family. Right? You call pedigree. Pedigree, you have heard the word pedigree. Pedigree, there's a cat food. Pedigree is what you have inherited from your great ancestors. Singaling කියන මොකද්ද? සිංහලෙන් කියන ලස්සන වචනයක් තියෙන pedigree කියලා කියන පුතා. සිංහලෙන් කියන වචනයක් තියෙනවා. මොකද කියන්නේ? පැටිකිරිය. පැටිකිරිය. තොග්ගේ පැටිකිරිය අපි දන්නේ නැද්ද ගහන්නේ? එහෙම කියන්නේ දෙන්නාට ඉහදී pedigree is what? Yeah, පැටිකිරිය is like a direct term නේද? Like, so people, learning biological diversity is a challenge. It is a challenge because all DNA and the genes present among human we can't study. Now we are just one species out of this 100 million. So we have to study how many people? A lot of species and their DNA, studying that fully is going to be a challenge for us. We can't achieve this. So therefore, it is an issue. Understanding biological diversity is an issue. Similarly, we discussed last time, people, about human body. Understanding of human body is another challenge because we have different abilities. You have different abilities. Maybe you can eat a lot. No one else can eat like you. You have some special features. You can sleep well. No one else can challenge you by sleeping. So you have different abilities. Right? So individually these abilities and the extent is now people variable. Now we said some individuals are having unusual feeding habits. They can eat metal without harming their body. Some people are having the ability of tolerating the electricity. So these are like unusual. Kim Peek is a person who can read 2 books with both eyes and then can remember every information. There also a Rain Man Rain Man. He's called Rain Man. There's a movie also called Rain Man based on his the life. There's a movie. He can read 2 books. And he is a living Google. You can say he is a living AI. Now, Google is like a too old term. Like now we talk about AI. He remembers everything and you can ask any chapter, thousands of books that he had read, any chapter, any sentence, any word in it, remembers. So that's like an enormous ability. If you understand that GCO level is going to be nothing for you, eh? Isn't it? You just now sometimes you read, even I read, we forget things, neither. It erase, wipe out. Over a week time period, when we don't use that information, it gradually disappears. So if you can understand that, we can make some memory pills. And I can say, those who are coming for Sampath Lanka Dheeraj biology class, I am distributing memory pills. Yeah, so you get everything one shot, and you drink it, and then you have the full information. Right. Anyway, I think we completed notes for that. Understanding human body, we completed the note. And then we have to continue from that point onwards. Understanding human body, we said that last sentence, check that people. This result in understanding and appreciation of organization of human body and understanding the function of different organ systems and relationships between structure and the function. Done? We wrote it. And then we'll start with the new one. Sustainable use, management of natural resources and environment. Right. This one. Right. This is what we're going to discuss now. Sustainable use and management of resources. All right. Now tell me resources. Tell me resources. What are resources? Things that they are using in day-to-day life. Things that you use in day-to-day life. Now resources, look at these people. Resources. This is you. This is you. Let's think about your day. Today. Now, what do you use so far today? Did you use a sofa? That is also a resource, right? You have, you need air. You use air. Didn't you? You know, what else, people? The warm condition, not too cold, not too hot, right? Then what else? You ate food. Water. What else? Clothes, yeah. Right? Clothes. And then what else, people? Pens, pencils, books. And then you use fuel. Fossil fuel, did you? Did you pump fuel, drink fuel, and then came for the class? But indirectly, people will use fuel, right? For all our activities, we can see that somehow we are using fuel to travel here to the class, the fuel. Then you have people, gems. Do you have gems? Gold, coal, at least coal, right? So these are different resources that we use. Electricity, light. So they are resources. So many resources you use daily. And these resources, we take people from the natural environment. So even people you can take animals, plants. They are resources too. Right? They are resources too. You use them daily. Why do you use animals daily? Maybe chicken, KFC chicken, fried chicken. It's like, or maybe a cat. You don't fry and eat a cat, but anyway, it's a resource. fish and all, plants, medicinal plants, so many things. Ornamental plants. What are ornamental plants? The plants that you keep inside the house, ornamental plants. So they are your resources. They are your resources. Then what do you do, people, after using resources? What do you do? Now, suppose you drink Milo packet. What do you do? I'm going to take that Milo packet home. I'm going to put in your cupboard locker and then preserve this and keep it forever. No, you just, it's trash. After using it, just simply trash. You throw it out. You throw it out. So it goes to the bin. Sometimes you don't even put it to a bin. You just keep it in the class and go. Kept in the class desk for me, right? So after the class, I'm going to drink that, right? The remaining part. Otherwise, what is the purpose of leaving it in the class? Don't leave trash in the class. Even at least people dispose it, put it to a bin, right? Now, people, we have problem regarding using of these resources. So day to day, lot of resources we take from environment, from nature, and we use them for our daily life. So these are just some of the resources that we use. We have a problem of over exploitation. Exploitation means, people, unfair usage. Unfair usage of resources. We use resources too much, right? Sometimes we don't need those resources, but still, people, we use them. We call this as what, people? This we call as the over exploitation, unfair usage of resources. These over exploitation. Now think that, people, we don't need the fan. Do you turn off the fan or not? Sometimes you keep it just running. Sometimes you don't need the air conditioner. You don't just turn it off. You just let it go. Sometimes some of the light bulbs are there. You forget to switch it off in the previous night. Whole night, the light is on. So we use resources sometimes, people, to a level which result waste of these resources. So we have created some problems with our exploitation. We say what? Over exploitation. Right? We use too much of these resources. What are the problems with these resources, people? One of the problem is pollution. One of the problem is pollution. Second one is what, people? Loss of biodiversity. Biodiversity is now losing our diversity, great diversity. Third one is what, people? Is something called as the desertification. Desertification. What is that? Expansion of the deserts. Right? Simply, people, when you keep a light bulb running too much, you're contributing for desertification. You are contributing for the loss of biodiversity more. And then it causes more pollution too. Right? So recently used for that, people, they have introduced cardboard yogurt spoon. That is one of the great achievement, people, for mankind. Introducing a cardboard spoon. Do you like that cardboard spoon or you like the plastic one? You like the plastic one. Right? And then the Milo straw. That is also now cardboard. Isn't it? Paper straw. Which one you like, the plastic one or the paper one? Plastic one do feel better, Why? Then you can breathe. At the practical, you can't punch it with the cardboard one, But even though, people, if you difficultly punch it and then use it, these are degradable materials, right? You can just imagine the problem we have created, people, with our biodiversity, loss of biodiversity. Look at this. Right? This is, my dear, something called as the Pacific garbage patch. Pacific garbage patch. But they say Great Pacific Garbage Patch, 1.6 square, 1.6 million square kilometers. 1.6 million square kilometers of garbage in the ocean. What is the land area of Sri Lanka? 65,610, as I remember. 65,410. What can I have? Any close number, eh? Square kilometers. What is that one, people? 1.6 million square kilometers. Just what, people? Yogurt spoons, straws, broken plastic pieces, polythene, yogurt cups, toothpaste lids, toothbrushes. How they get here? How they get here? You do this. What happened thereafter? You are not bothering about it. It just you drop it and then get rid of it. Then what happened thereafter? This is going to be in a shopping bag. Your mom is going to do that. Right? When you are in classes here learning about the biodiversity and all, your mom put that into a shopping bag. And as she go to the boutique or something, she go and keep it on the side of the road and then she walks away. So next comes rain. This bag is going to be in a drain, flushing down to the great reservoir Victoria. Yeah. And then people, when the dam opens, it's going to flood down and then goes finally to the ocean and catch by the ocean currents. And then they are gathered people to certain places. One of the greatest garbage patches is this. But just keep in mind, this is not the only patch. We have so many 20, 30 patches are there. Several times bigger than Sri Lanka, the total land area of Sri Lanka, right? And that is the our use of resources, right? So if you uh, if you go to if you dive, right? If you dive, it's awesome. Right? One day you do scuba diving like this. How beautiful it is, né? The ocean. This is people near Bali Islands. You can't see fish. Né? Do you see any fish here? Huh? Those are not fishers. Né? What are those people? These are, yeah, those toothbrushes, né? The polythene, plastic pieces, some filters, né? Okay, මේ extra margarine cup එකක් වගේ එකක් යනවට වෙන නේ. So this is our style of living on earth, right? We have done great damage for nature. So these animals, they eat this. The animals, they eat and these garbage. And then we have to take people extra effort. This is the Pacific garbage. They are just floating on water, covering people large area, right? Not only on the floating on the surface, underwater also. Maybe underwater also. That's the situation. So we have created people. Look at these spoons, everything. Right? So this is how we look after nature, right? So this is you can see some islands nearby, right? So we need to understand people the great damage that we do to nature, and we have to minimize pollution. Otherwise, we don't have anywhere else to go because we are trapped in Earth. There is no any other Earth-like planet people nearby, right? Even if you travel so many light years, you don't see anything like Earth. And that Earth due to human activities, we are now polluting. We have polluted water, we have polluted air, we have polluted ground. When you drop that the Milo packet, then in IMS garbage bin, then the municipal council is going to collect it. Where do you think that they take it? Where do you think they take it? They take it to Guhagada. Guhagada, there is a huge mountain, beautiful mountain, garbage, full of garbage. Every town now we can see that people they have what garbage mountain, Blue Mandal. It was a Maligavat, Kunukanda, Colombo, when Colombo Municipal Council. Now they take Colombo waste materials to Erukavil, Utlam, and then dump it. Right? This is a disaster because in future people, this is going to come back to us like a boomerang. Right? And we're going to suffer in future. Right? If you want to murder someone, using biological knowledge, you want to kill somebody, you want to get rid of somebody, take an arsenate bottle, break people some old battery, phone battery, yeah, smash it, make a juice of the phone battery juice. Lot of toys contain people, mercury, cadmium, lead, heavy metal present in those the rechargeable batteries. Then what do you do? Take a needle, dip it in that the battery juice, then dip it in a tea. Leave the needle aside. Now that's the best part. You take the tray and then you go. One take a present it with a nice smile. And then you give it. 6 months, you can get rid of this person. You are not going to trap or you're not going to be convicted for this murdering because there is no technology to find that. Right? And don't do this, Harry. Okay. But you have to understand the same thing now happened to you. Unintentionally, it's happening to you now. Why? Because we dispose all the CFL bulbs and old batteries and phones and electronics people, we put it into the garbage bin. Then the municipal council will take that and then dump it. They put a bulldozer on it. Then smash and then compress that garbage using a bulldozer. What happened to those electronic devices, people? They crack and they leak. And when the rain comes, people, this is going to form a garbage juice. That garbage juice trickle down and go into the water bodies, the water that you drink. Right now in Gampala Municipal Council, they dump it to Ambuluawa, a mountain. Previously, people they dumped into Mahavali River bank. Right? And we are here in Kandy. Down the river, we have the Gatambe water pump station. What they do? They pump that water. When they pump water, they can get rid of people, bacteria, viruses, whatever the other germs and all, they can purify and clean. But can they remove dissolved heavy metals? No. You will not get any taste. And when you drink, when you eat, when you wash your plate with that water, those trace of metal is there. So what's going to happen to you? The same thing is now people unintentionally that the murder plan is acting on you, isn't it? So that is the unfortunate situation. Every time we damage the nature, people, it's going to come back for us and then affect our health. That is why we have so many diseases now. We have to understand all these things, consequences, right? So therefore, people, sustainable use and management of resources are important. If you don't do that, number one is pollution. What happens with that? When the environment pollute, these species are going to die. For the last 200 years, we can see that people, there is a great loss of biodiversity. Right? These IMS, these premises, this was a forest. If you think of 50 years back, this is a jungle with snakes and caterpillars and then earthworms and then frogs and abundant place. Now you don't see a frog here. Why? This is now cleared and this is an artificial environment now. So there was a serious loss of biodiversity during the past time period. And we are heading towards people more and more loss of biodiversity. So in another 30, 40 years, people, we say that more than 10% biodiversity is going to be lost due to human activity. If more than 10% biodiversity loss occur, people, it's called as a mass extinction. It is similar to what had happened with the slamming of an asteroid 65 million years ago. You know that incident, eh? A giant asteroid, 11 kilometers in width, slammed on Earth, destroying dinosaurs. We don't need an asteroid. Just human activity is enough to destroy the present biodiversity. Is that clear? So, loss of biodiversity is a serious problem that we have. You can't just live alone, Puta. You can't just live alone. Why Mars is so hostile? Why Mars is so hostile? Why people can't live on Mars? Huh? What is the reason? Because there is no life. We think that people, this earth is a blue marble and earth has all favorable condition for life, so the life can survive. That is wrong. It goes on the other way around. Again, earth has a lot of biodiversity. This biodiversity take care of the earth and maintain the favorable condition for life. Every organism is depending on the other, one or the other way, people, that they contribute to maintain the condition of the earth. So actually, these living creatures maintain the favorable conditions on earth rather than the earth is having favorable conditions. Right? Earth favorable condition is maintained by the life. You can just understand that. Trees are giving you oxygen. No trees, people, you can't survive. So trees give you oxygen, trees give you food. You give carbon dioxide to trees so that the trees are going to be happy. They can carry out photosynthesis. So we are interdependent. So with the loss of biodiversity, people, this will result total disaster. Right? The earth is going to destroy with that. Right. Next one, desertification. You can understand that. Ne? We remove trees. What we end up with, people, with a desert. Right? Shall we write that part now? I'll leave. Right there. Put number 3 topic, sustainable use and management of the main title, sustainable use and management of resources. Take a main title, sustainable use and management of. You better write the titles with a red pen. If you can write the main titles with a red pen, rest of the note with blue or black pen. You have to keep green pens, red pens, everything. Gum bottle and also scissor. It's going to be like a barber salon. With scissors. Sustainable use and management of natural resources and environment. Right, first point. Natural resources are sources of materials. Natural resources are sources of materials, sources of materials and energy found naturally which are used in everyday life, which are used in everyday life, which are used in everyday life and for economic development. So used in everyday life and for economic development. Next point, put a star and write. These natural resources are limited on earth. These natural resources are limited on earth. Next point, due to increased growth rate, of human population, due to increased growth rate of human population, overuse of natural resources, overuse of natural resources, overuse of natural resources is taking place, is taking place. This causes a threat of depletion. This causes a threat of depletion. This causes a threat of depletion of natural resources. Depletion of natural resources. This causes a threat of depletion of natural resources. Next point. Due to over exploitation, due to over exploitation, exploitation, exploitation of natural resources, due to over exploitation of natural resources, various environmental problems, various environmental problems arise. Various environmental problems arise, such as, now you have to list them down 1, 2, 3, okay? Number 1, environmental pollution. Number 1, environmental pollution. Number 2, loss of biodiversity. Number 2, loss of biodiversity. Number 3, desertification. Number 3, desertification. Number 3, desertification. Hence to overcome, next point, hence to overcome, hence to overcome, hence to overcome, HENC here, hence to overcome above problems, hence to overcome above problems, management of natural resources, management of natural resources and environment should be practiced. Management of natural resources and environment, management of natural resources and environment should be practiced. Should be practiced. Next point, knowledge of biology is useful. Knowledge of biology is useful. Last sentence. Knowledge of biology is useful to bring about remedies, to bring about remedies, to bring about remedies REMEDIES, remedies for above problems. To bring about remedies for above problems. Bring about remedies for above problems. Okay. Now we move to next title. What is that, people? Sustainable food production. Can you write the fourth title? Sustainable food production. Write the fourth title, huh? Sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. They say, people, they say that the world population in 1800, I'll write these figures. World population 1800, 1 billion. 1 billion world population. And then, people, 1927, this came to 2 billion. Then, people, 1974, this reached to 4 billion. And then, people, 2023, this came to 8 billion. 8 billion world population. Right? 8 billion world population. So, we need more food. They say, people, previous syllabus, they have given a statement saying that every second, somewhere on earth, 3 babies born. 8 and 11 to 9, 6, 9, 12. You have to go now. Babies. 3 babies jump out. This click like that. Nowadays, they don't say that. Now say, people, every second 4.3 babies. 4.3 babies. How 0.3 babies are produced? Do they put only their head out? This just simple, the statistics, mathematical parts. Anyway, world population is now exceeding, people, 8 billion. We achieved 8 billion in 2023. There was a little slowdown of that because of the COVID. So many people died with the COVID. Millions of people died worldwide. So that slowed down a little bit, right? Human growth. Otherwise, right, we are going to achieve this available population will double. They say in less than 40 years. Again, 2063, this is going to be 16 billion world population. 16 billion world population. You should not be angry about that because you are going to do it, right? You are going to double. This Z generation is going to double this world population and then make it, people, proudly 16 billion. So what we need now? We need, this is our beautiful motherland. In 1950s, we had a forest cover of 50% forest cover. The whole country, 50% of the land of the country was covered with forest. Right? The whole country was covered with what, people? Forest. In just, people, 70 years ago. Just 70 years ago, our forest cover was greater than 50%. Then we construct, people, road system. We construct roads like this. Part of our forest, people, we have used for schools. Is that enough, people? Schools enough? So you need hospitals also, right? Right? Hospitals. Is that enough? No, we need police stations. Neda. We need people, supermarkets. Supermarkets. We need some more people, buildings, housing apartments. චූටි ගෙවල්. උදාගම් ව්‍යාපාරය නේද වගේ එකක් නේද? ඔහොම තිබුණානේ ඒ කාලේ. Right? Making housing schemes. So what we have consumed, people? We have taken our existing forest for that. Then is this enough? No, we need people some lands for our agriculture. So we put people paddy fields. We use part of our land, people, for agriculture also. So presently what we have as forest people is less than maybe around 20%. Around 20% forest cover remain. Here and there some patches, if you go to Singaraja, Kanneliya, Nakia, Dinia, near the Kotta, different places we can see that some patches are there, harbour and forest. Patches of forest now remain 20% of forest cover at the moment. Now people, nowadays what we do, people, we take this agricultural land. Now if you go from here to Kurunegala side or Gampula side or Kaduvanna side, wherever, Matale side, you can see that people, some of the paddy fields are now narrowing. Why? Because they put people some the motor vehicles, spare parts shops near the hardware stores nearby the side of the road. Taking people our existing forest and the agricultural lands for what? For our other day-to-day use. So what happened to our agricultural lands now, people? Narrow. What happened to our forest cover now? Further narrows. Can we survive without forest? No. Then this is going to be a desert. Can we narrow down agricultural lands like this? No. Why? Because the world population is growing. Our local population grows too. Right? So, what we are therefore now in a threat. What's the threat? What is the threat, people? Threat is the food scarcity. Food scarcity. They say, people, in another 30 years time period, you're going to face a problem. What is that? Food scarcity. Right? That means what? When you wake up in the morning, you don't have your breakfast. You're not going to have your lunch. Dinner, what are you going to have? Nothing. That's all. When you have to follow, yeah, that's all. So that is one of the problem, right? Food scarcity. Why, people? Because our agricultural lands are narrowing. Our agricultural lands are narrowing. Are you sick or what? Not well. Okay. Right. Me? These are the agricultural land. So what do you have to do to face this the food crisis in future? We have only one alternative left. Think that, people, our rice plant gives us 100 grams. We need to develop the rice plant, people, to give more productivity, right? To produce more crop. We can use that plant breeding techniques, plant genetic engineering is there, people. We use our biological knowledge. If we can use it, we can find a solution for this. Now you have seen, people, some of the fruits are now, people, unusually bigger now. For an example, Alphonso Amba. Alphonso mango. 1 kilo. Ne? One fruit is nearly, people, a kilo, more than that. They are improved crops. We can improve people, animals. We can improve animals. And then people, we can have these better animals, farm animals. Look at this. Awesome, ne? Featherless chicken. Not the chicken. Right? Now, not that someone has like defeathered them. This is an improved variety of chicken without feathers. Right? Why this is, people, good? Why it is good for chicken without feathers? Why it is better? Because they fight. When they have feathers, they get heat stress. So when you put them in the animal house, in a pen, when too much of birds are there, they get heat stress. If you put this place become too much crowded, full of students, and then we turn off the ACs, what's going to get people? You're going to get that heat stress. It's going to be too hot. That happens to these birds when you put in a small area, when you put so many birds, people, they die. They fight with each other. Now, when you develop these animals without feathers, then what happens? They feel cold. So they love to stay together. Yeah. So they stay together. So that reduces people, the fight between them. That reduces the heat stress. And therefore that increases the productivity. So therefore in the past we can see that people, we have changed these animals, farm animals too. So to face the world population growth, one of the way we can face this is improving our crops. This is one of the way we can sort it out, right? What is that? Produce high yielding plants. Maybe also animals. We can improve plants and animals to give people better productivity. That is one of the alternative we have. Second one, right? Second one, control pest and diseases. To control pest and diseases, that we can do too. Why? Annually, we can see that people, large amount of our crop is lost by diseases and also damaged by pest. So if we can control it, we can improve the productivity. And the third one, what they say, people, improve, what is that? Post-harvest. Post-harvest technology. What is this post-harvest technology? What we do after harvesting. Paddy after harvesting, what we do? How we keep it for longer without spoiling. How to keep vegetables long time after harvesting them. How you can preserve them. You know, some jams, cordials are there, neither. There are different preservation techniques, and we call them as the post-harvest techniques too. Because after harvesting people, to keep them longer, what we can do? Post-harvest technology we can use, right? So these are the ways that we can fight this food crisis. Let's write there. Sustainable food production. Sustainable food production. Put a star and write, okay? Sustainable food production is the production. Sustainable food production is the production. Sustainable food production is the production of sufficient amount of food. Production of sufficient amount of food for human population. For human population. For human population. Using environmentally safe methods. Using environmentally safe methods. Environmentally safe methods. Next point. The current human population is 7 billion. I wrote it on the board as 8 billion. I'll explain why. 7 billion and expected to be double. 7 billion and expected to be double in less than 40 years. Expected to be double in less than 40 years. Expected to be double in less than 40 years. Next point. Therefore, for the survival of human being, therefore, for the survival of human being. Therefore, for the survival of human being, sustainable food production is necessary. Sustainable food production is necessary. Therefore, for the survival of human being, sustainable food production is necessary. Next point, to maintain sustainable food production, to maintain sustainable food production, following methods can be applied. Following methods can be applied. Following methods can be applied. Following methods can be applied, which are based on knowledge in biology, which are based on knowledge in biology, which are based on knowledge in biology. Now you write, list them down, 1, 2, 3. List them down, okay? Number 1, production of high yielding varieties. Production of high yielding varieties. Production of high yielding varieties of plants and animals. High yielding varieties of plants and animals. Number 2, number 2, number 2, production of disease resistant varieties. Production of disease resistant varieties. Disease resistant varieties of plants and animals. Disease resistant varieties of plants and animals. Disease resistant varieties of plants and animals. Number 3, improve post harvest. Improve post harvest. Post, put a small hyphen and then write harvest. One word, post harvest. Technological methods. Post harvest technological methods. Post harvest technological methods. Right, so we learn this one, sustainable food production. Now we will discuss, people, understanding plant life. Right, take a main title. Take a main title, understanding plant life. Main title, understanding plant life. Understanding plant life. Fine. Understand plant life. Can you draw a simple diagram like this? You wrote the title, ne? Okay, no need. Understanding plant life. Right, now look at this. Plant life. Understand of plant life is important. Right, plants can be complex. Ne? Plants are complex too. Sometimes certain things about plants are a mystery. Think that people, when there is a large forest, there is a tree somewhere here, and then same species tree is in the other end of the forest. They flower in the same time period. This plant is now producing flower. This plant produces flower in the same time period. So they talk. There is some sort of a communication between them. Sometimes they can be apart people several kilometers, let's take 10 kilometers away. Right? Still, we can see that people, they can communicate. How they do it? That is the amazing part. Underground people, you can see what is available, fungi present. These are like a lot of fungal networks, fungal filaments present in soil. You can't see them to your eye. Right? It's like a internet, plant internet. This plant is connected, people plugged into internet. That plant too. Now you get information to your mobile phone. You get the information. How? When you have Wi-Fi connection, then you get the information. So this is like that, people. Plants are interconnected. That's awesome. Right? They're not interconnected by their roots, but they're interconnected through people, other fungal filaments. Sometimes people, scientists have observed some plants, they show some unusual human-like behavior. Now, this is a large tree. Think that it's a mango tree. And one of the seed fall and then grow under the shade of this mother tree. One of the scientists, what he did, right? He put a bag to a branch of this tree. Then he gave people special carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide with 14 isotopes. It's like you bring some Necto ice cream. It's like I give you Necto ice cream. I don't give you, right? I come and keep that Necto ice cream containing tub here. Then I, for some urgent thing, go out and come. Then I see that people ice cream missing. Can I find who ate that? Yes. Why? Because your lips and the tongues are going to stain with the dye. So then what I do? Open your mouth. Then I can find the person who ate that. Same like that. This is something new. C14 carbon dioxide. It's not present in nature. Some strange carbon dioxide. Okay. When you give that, this carbon dioxide is used for photosynthesis by the mother plant. So what the scientist did, he came back after a month. He came back after a month. Then he found people that carbon dioxide, this C14 carbon dioxide containing carbon is present in this plant, young plant. So what the mother plant has done here, she had carried out photosynthesis and given that nutrients to the plant. That means they look after the young ones. That is what your mom is doing. These plants are doing that too. We didn't know that. Right? We thought that people, they are just don't care about their young ones. Neither. Plants do care too. In another experiment, people, in another experiment, I'll go it over there. In another experiment, scientists, they put seeds of the same mother plant, sibling seeds, sibling seeds in a pot. They are siblings. These so that when the roots are growing, the roots are gently growing away. Right? Roots are growing gently away from each other without being aggressive. Right? When they put us in the pot, seeds coming from two different plants, two different mango trees, they grow more aggressively. Again, they grow more aggressively against each other, try to take the other one resources. Awesome, ne? I know that you do it on the other way, right? You with your friend, oh yeah, with your friend. The other way around. Plants are not like that. They are more gently, right? gently when they are the seedlings. Awesome, ne? And then people, the craziest experiment, right? Craziest experiment on plant. I don't know how I can find it. I think I can find it. My craziest experiment about plant is the plants can identify you. They know you, right? They know you very well. I think I found it. Look at this. In this experiment, I think it's the right one. It's a quite old one. I'm just showing it. Right? When you cut vegetables like this, I think you need to know more about it. The plants are releasing stress chemicals. Ethylene and other chemicals are released. So you can see that the nearby plants or these electrodes are people to a nearby plant like that. So the nearby plant feel it and generate people some signals, electric signals. This guy with a particular mark come and destroy the plant, nearby plant, right? Destroy it. The other plant get the stress. Finished, done. Electrodes are fed to the nearby other plant. That plant identify this person. So when the next time, when the same person come nearby, the exact person who damaged the plant, this is not producing any signal. Right? When the same person come nearby, the plant recognizes it. Right? So that means they can identify. Plants know you. So these are like people, some of the studies they have done when about plants. And then people, plants are having nervous system too. I mean, you know that they don't have nervous system, right? But they can send current. They can send current. In this experiment, what he does, the mimosa plant is connected through wires people to nearby Venus flytrap plant through wires. Two plants are connected, right? And when you stimulate one plant, right? When you stimulate one plant, you can see that that plant generate people small amount of current. I'll just fast forward this one, right, and then show you the only the important part. I think it's somewhere here, right? So two plants are connected with one another. Then when he stimulate one plant, he is stimulating this Venus flytrap. Electrodes are fit to that. These plants can count even, right? Plants can count. The flytrap only works people when the touching done with less than 15 seconds, I think. So the plants know how to measure time. These are some amazing the understanding about plants. Right? This is that his final work. Right? Two plants are connected with wires, and then he's going to stimulate one plant. Right? And then the second plant, what is he's going to stimulate the Venus flytrap. I think he's going to stimulate the Venus flytrap. And then the mimosa plant is connected through wires to the Venus flytrap. Yes. So when he stimulated the Venus flytrap, what happened? The mimosa plant respond. That means people, plants, what we know that they don't have, what are the tissues in plants? parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, xylem, phloem. That's all. No. Is there any nervous tissue available? No nervous tissue. How plants are doing this, people? No, we don't know. We have to further study and then learn them. Is that clear? So plants are also people complex. Let's write there. Let's write there. Understanding plant life. Plants are primary producers in the world. Plants are primary producers in the world. Plants are primary producers in the world. All the animals depend directly or indirectly. All the animals depend directly or indirectly. All the animals depend directly or indirectly, directly or indirectly on plants. Next point, therefore, on plants. Therefore, understanding plant life is important. Therefore, understanding plant life is important. Therefore, understanding plant life is important. Next point, as the time passes, as time passes, human population, as time passes, human population increase. Human population increase. Hence, the productivity must be increased. As the time passes, human population increase. Hence, the productivity must be increased. Hence, the productivity must be increased. Therefore, next pointer. Therefore, understanding plant biology is essential. Therefore, understanding plant biology is essential for producing high yielding plants. For producing high yielding, YIELDING, yielding plants, comma, disease resistant plants, etc. Disease resistant plants, etc. Disease resistant plants, etc. Right? So they say the plants are complex. We depend on the plants. So world population is growing. We need more food. Understanding plant will help us to produce more food and better life. Ne? Right, we move to the next one, people. Okay, then. Any question? Yes, understanding plant life. If you have questions, you can ask after the class. In the lab, me understanding plant life. Next week class के पूरी issue करती ना भाई. Next week is 18th. Ne? Institution is open, but thing is, people, the police nowadays exhibiting the sacred tooth. Ne? So I think the whole town is going to be jammed next week, 18th, and week after, 25th. Yeah, the 25th, 2 days. This is going to affect. So the police has implemented a special traffic plan. What they say is they're going to like control traffic from Katupasta to Peradeniya, all main, and they're going to limit the vehicles entering to the city. They have a plan like that. Okay. So stay touch with the group. I want you to, I want you to send a message and join with the group. Note 77. 9925 362, or else it doesn't matter whatever the class you go for, chemistry, bio, physics, whatever. If you're coming for IMS, WhatsApp this number, right? Or else note 724 000 555. This is our hotline number, not IMS, but we will give you details through these two numbers. You can send message to both numbers if you like, right? So, and then join with that IMS group. WhatsApp group is there, Telegram group is there. Join with either those two groups. So we'll tell you people, inform you what exactly we're going to do by next week. But at the moment, what we thought is to conduct the class physically. Then you can join online also. If you find that it is difficult, if you get we will get this news, what their traffic plan is. Still, we don't know what they try to implement. Okay. So WhatsApp these two numbers will let you know what we exactly going to do. If you can't come physically, just for one day or maybe for two, you can join online without stopping the class. Now, what they have instructed is to close down all the institutions. Close, right? And then restrict the students coming for classes. We'll have the class here. We'll do it physically. Then some of you can join online also, right? For next week. And week after, what we're going to do, we'll let you know. Still, it's not clear what's going to happen by next week. Anyway, we are not going to stop classes. Huh? My class, Vajra sir's class, Nuwan Balasuri sir's class, all classes are going to be conducted. Hari. So, understanding plant life. Can you go for the next title now? Understanding diseases and causes. Understanding diseases and causes. Understanding diseases and causes. Sixth point, understanding diseases and causes. Now, you know, people, diseases are caused by pathogens. Pathogens are parasites, right? Now, what is a parasite? Can you tell me what is a parasite and what is a pathogen? Parasite can be, right? Living parasitically, by taking resources from another organism. If another one survives, it's a parasite. Give me some examples for parasites, you know. Parasite, you can take a leech. You can take ticks and mites and neither. So they are parasitic. They take your resources and then survive. Right? If it causes a disease to you, then it becomes parasite and what is it, people? Pathogen. Pathogens are parasite, living parasitically and cause you sickness. Then you call them as the pathogen. So we can discuss, people, diseases and their causes. What causes diseases? Fine. So, what are the different types of diseases you know? Can you give me some list of diseases that you have heard of? Kianaban? The disease at the Kianaban? Fever. Fever is a symptom, of course. What are they? No. I'm asking example. You know, there are two types of disease. Communicable diseases are there, non-communicable diseases are there. My question is, give me a name of a disease. Tuberculosis, dengue. Tahu kian ban? Tuberculosis, dengue. Cancer. What else? Diseases. Oh. So many diseases are there, right? Okay. You can take chicken pox, smallpox. Have you heard about the plague, the bubonic plague? COVID. COVID. Bubonic plague was like people like COVID, killed so many millions of people on earth. Plague. They get buboes. Under the armpits, people, some blisters form. It's like how many of you have contact chicken pox? Like Some of you, ne? Hari. So these are like large buboes are going to form. They are pus filled. Pus is what? Dead juice. Yellowish colored juice sometimes ooze out when there is a wound present. Ne? That is pus. So that pus-filled buboes are forming in armpits. The body transforms into black in color. They call that as a black death. So when the person contact the plague, he's going to die in 6 days. And then not only him, all the family members, one by one, going to get the disease. Right? So it was a bacterial condition. Yersinia pestis, as I remember, the causing organism, bacterium. Once you get there was no treatment in early days. Now you don't have to be worried about it. Now simply antibiotic treatment is going to cure it fully. Antibiotics came in 1920s. This is, my dear, we are talking about before 1920s. So when they get plague, nowhere else to go. Plague spread by flea. And flea is in the rat body. Right? Flea is in rat body. Rats were everywhere at the early towns. They were everywhere, rats. Now you have some rats at home. And then it was worse situation, people, early days. Everywhere rats. And there was a story also, pipe and a rat, some stories there, one who play flute or something, and then the rats came and then he jumped to water and all the rats died and king gave a lot of money. There are stories. So these rats, they carry the condition from one house to another. So the next day, neighbor is having the plague. Day after, the rat is going to take it to your house. And then so many people died. There was no escape. Bubonic plague. You know how they controlled it? When they quarantine, simply quarantine, like the COVID quarantine, you saw that some health people come and then carry them out and then put them in quarantine centers. They didn't do that in earlier. What they did, they put soldiers. No one can escape. They can't run away. They lock people, whole villages, towns sometimes, without anyone to leave the town. They put soldiers. If anyone try to run away, they shoot them down, kill them. And that is how they controlled the plague. So diseases are serious. To control disease, people, we need to use our biological knowledge. Some diseases like people, this is one of the condition. Let's take a simple condition. This is people, your beautiful foot. And then some, right? Not nice? From underside view. So there are some worms in soil, some larvae stages of worms are there. These are worm larvae. They have very sharp mouth parts, right? Sharp mouth. So what they do, they bring your foot and then through the burrow, they enter into your bloodstream. They go to your blood. Through your blood vessels, people, they go to your heart. This is a blood vessel, okay? I'm drawing the pipeline is a blood vessel. This is your beautiful heart. So they come to the heart. From the heart, people, blood goes to where? Blood goes to lungs. So they go through this roundabout and then come to the lung. This is the lung. Right? Who's this? A worm. Look at the journey of the worm. So he come to your lungs through the blood circulation. This is our cute worm. He enter into the lungs, go up in the trachea and come to your throat. Then here people, there is another pipeline goes to your stomach. This is your stomach. Right? We'll take the stomach this side. Right? This is coming to the stomach. This is stomach. come to the stomach. They pass through the stomach and come to the small intestine, right? And then there is a big welcome given. Welcome, newcomers. Neither. Like your seniors are going to welcome you when you go to school. Neither. There are others waiting for this worm to come. Right. So this worm is now on his way to the small intestine. Right. And then a big welcome is given. And then some of the female worms are also waiting for this the worm to come. And they marry here. Yeah. They have babies there. And then these babies are, the eggs are sent out people with. Right? So they come on ground back again. Eggs are going to hatch. And then they are going to form the larvae once again. They are waiting until another one come and step on them. Yeah. The life cycle goes like that. So we need to control these diseases. How do you control these disease, people? Just simply wear a slipper. Simply wear a slipper. Right? Then use gloves, rubber gloves when you are touching soil. Prevent contact. To prevent contact. If you don't do that, then this is your result. This is a surgery of taking noodles out. Right? That's the small intestine they cut and then take people. All these are worms. Nice worms. Live worms. It's like really like noodles, right? Put little bit of salt and carrot pieces. You can have it for your lunch. See? Right? So there are so many types of, now this is only, these are roundworms. Ascaris lumbricoides, roundworm. Right? And I was talking about hookworms. There are other worms, milkworms are there, pinworms present, pin worms are thin, paukarpu worms again. Pin P-I-N, pinworm. So different worms are there. Right? So understanding diseases are therefore important. We can break the cycle. We can break the cycle. Isn't it? So we can prevent them entering. We can use a toilet. We don't do open defecation. But this can be a dog, ne? Dogs do that, they enter into the dog foot, drill, and then go to the dog heart, dog lungs, dog stomach, dog intestine. Dogs don't go and poop in the toilet. They just drop it and go. Ne? And then with the rain people, these eggs can go and wash away into the water that you drink. The flies can bring them back to your food. So got to be careful. Ne? And these eggs, once they hatch people, they can enter into your food. So life cycle of diseases, when you understand, we can treat them better. Now, as you said, there are two types of diseases present. What are they? Communicable and non-communicable. Tell me, communicable means what, people? Spread from one person to another. Dengue, communicable, right? And then what do you say? Other communicable diseases? Common cold, the chicken pox, COVID, they are communicable. What are non-communicable? They don't go from one person to another. Give me some example. Cancer, and then heart diseases, diabetes. Your grandma is having diabetes, and then you sit close to her. Doesn't mean that you're going to get diabetes too. Ne? They are non-communicable diseases. HIV, what is that, people? AIDS, AIDS. What is this? AIDS. You should know about this. What is this? Acquired immunodeficient. S. What is that? Huh? What is syndrome? What's a syndrome? It's a syndrome. What is, it's like a syndrome. What is it? Of course. What is the meaning of it? Why can't you call that as acquired immunodeficient disease? Why do you want to say that? Syndrome. You didn't ask that. When someone says syndrome, okay, say syndrome. Right? You didn't want to find the meaning of it. You know that? Syndrome. What is actually meant by syndrome? Syndrome means people, many symptoms appear, not one. Sometimes you eat something, you get diarrhea, that's one. You get diarrhea, you get high fever, you get small blisters coming in. I mean, if some disease causes so many symptoms, then it's become what people? It is a syndrome, right? It is a syndrome. So what do you call the people? AIDS, immunodeficient syndrome, right? So they show so many weaknesses when the virus attack. It's a virus condition. You got to be careful because it can come with people. Can come with sexual contact. Number one way. If it is not on that way, it can come with blood donation, blood transfusion. Can come with razor blades. AIDS person use a razor blade, you shave with the same razor blade, it can come. Schools, it's little dangerous. Why? Sometimes schools prefects are, they keep in the razor and then they shave it. In some boys' schools, this happens, especially in grade 12 and 13. They use the same razor blade. So that can be sometimes spread condition. This is a common, I mean, AIDS is now a condition present among school children too. We don't know how. Do you know how? You tell me how. In the early days, this was among people of the age of 50s, my age. Now this has dropped down. There are some workers go to foreign countries and work and come and then they have some sexual contact and then they can get the disease. Right? Nowadays, according to new reports, people in Sri Lanka, the condition is now present among the people who are at the age of 20s, in their 20s. Normally, this disease has a 10-year, 6 to 10 years period where they don't show symptoms and then what you call incubation. That means when the virus enters, till another 6 to 10 years, symptoms are not going to appear. But the virus is inside the body. What do you call that period? Incubation period. It is 6 to 10 years. Suppose a person get HIV in his 24. Then he has contacted 10 years before. That is the age of 14, 15, 16, 17, 16 plus. Right? Can spread. It's a serious condition. So many cancer patients are present in the country too. Cancer is also a major killer. Heart diseases are also a major killer. Sometimes people, we don't know the actual cause of it also. We don't know why such high number of heart patients are there. You understand people, after COVID vaccination, after COVID injection, there were so many people died with heart problems, heart attacks. We don't understand what that link is. Right, understanding diseases and causes. Now let's write there. Maintain healthy human body. Sixth topic, maintain healthy human body. Sorry, to maintain healthy human body. 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 One should have the knowledge. One should have the knowledge. One should have the knowledge of cause of the disease, of cause, C-A-U-S-E, of cause of the disease and their effects. And their effects. Next point, some dangerous diseases which exist in current world. Some dangerous diseases which exist in current world, some dangerous diseases which exist in current world are non-communicable, non, communicable, COMMUNICABLE, communicable diseases such as cancer, heart diseases, heart diseases, diabetes, chronic renal disease, chronic renal disease, chronic renal disease, and communicable diseases such as communicable diseases such as communicable diseases such as dengue, AIDS, AIDS, dengue, AIDS, etc., etc. dot, etc. Next point, this part is the important part. Huh? Cancer, put a hyphen and write small dash, okay? Cancer, small dash. Causes for this is not fully. Causes for this is not fully understood yet. Causes for this is not fully understood yet. Causes for this is not fully understood yet. Cancers are one of the leading cause of death. Cancers are one of the leading cause of death. Next point. AIDS, AIDS is a viral disease. AIDS is a viral disease. AIDS is a viral disease which is serious and growing health problem, which is serious and growing health problem, which is serious and growing health problem worldwide, which is serious and growing health problem worldwide. Next one, heart diseases. Heart diseases. Put a hyphen, dash, and then write. This is also serious and growing with heart diseases. This is also serious and growing health problem worldwide. Causes are not fully understood yet. This is also serious and growing health problem worldwide. Causes are not fully understood yet. Causes are not fully understood yet. Causes are not fully understood yet. Next point. Chronic renal disease. Chronic renal disease. Right, people? Further, before writing further, what is chronic condition? Simple word, ne? Chronic renal disease. What is the meaning of it? Chronic. What is the other word of it? Opposite word. Mogad puta? Chronic can mogad. I have chronic gastritis. Me, chronic gastritis. I have acute gastritis. Acute no, it's not. I have acute gastritis. I have no. I have acute, ACUTE, acute. Oh, wow, one day I'm going to say, students, I can't teach you today. I have acute gastritis. Another day I can say, students, I have a chronic gastritis. Ah, chronic, what that means? Long term, very good. The acute means what? Short term. Again, acute is what you have less than 3 months or maybe up to 4, 5 months time period. People, you have a condition. It's called acute. Why acute become chronic, people? If it doesn't clear out, stays with you continuously, then what do you call then? It is a chronic condition. So what do you call this one, people? Chronic renal disease. Chronic renal disease. Chronic renal disease hyphen right there. In Sri Lanka recently, CKDU has become CKDU. How do you write that? CKD small u. CKDU. Does anyone knows the term of this? CKDU, chronic kidney disease of unknown etiology. You don't have to write it now, we'll write it later. Right? Unknown etiology means we don't know what causes the disease. We don't know what causes it. But anyway, you know, your kidneys are going to become weaker. You don't feel any discomfort, people, until your both kidneys are completely destroyed. Then you get some blisters coming on your palm and on your foot. So you go to the doctor and then show it to the doctor. So doctor, everybody blisters then when he do the testings, your both kidneys gone. And it is called as the end renal stage. That is the danger of this disease. Until both kidneys are completely destroyed, people, the person don't get any discomfort. And then there is very less treatment options available at that stage, other than transplanting a kidney that need a lot of money. And it's a risky work, neither, right? End stage kidney, right? Chronic renal disease. In Sri Lanka, recently CKDU has become a serious health problem. Serious health problem. Next point. Currently, a serious health problem. In Sri Lanka, recently CKDU has become a serious health problem. Next point. Currently, scientists are working on scientists are working on prevention remedial remedial measures and cures for such diseases. Cures for such diseases. Right, we are moving to the next topic, Lamai. We are moving to next topic. Can you write the next topic? Solving some legal and ethical issues. Fine. Solving some legal and ethical issues. Solving legal and ethical issues. That's the last one, eh? Solving some legal and ethical issues. Right. Now, Bill, with the development of technology, we need new ethics. Every time people, what is ethics? Is meant by ethic, acceptable behavior. Unethical, don't do unethical things. Why then? Unacceptable behavior. Ethics means what? It's not law, eh? Laws are rules and regulations, legislations of the country, laws of the country, legislation. That means if you violate that, then you're fined, you're punished. Traffic laws, not ethics. Ethic is you should not honk continuously. Eh? Some people do that. Eh? Some bus drivers and only. They have the loudest horns. Eh? You hear stand when they honk. So ethics means people acceptable behavior. Ethics. Now let's take simple example. I'm going to fly a drone. Classic man drone fly karna. Is it good or bad? It's okay, ne? Flying a drone and then you get the bird's view. There are anyway laws for that. No problem with that, me. No problem. You can fly it, no issue. But if you fly the drone near the bathroom window of the neighbor's house neighbor, then is it acceptable or unacceptable? Unacceptable, ne? But simply people, when we come with new technology, every time we come with people new technology, we have to build up people good ethics. You know, people, yesterday's news, Direwolf, colossal gene technology company in USA, they have brought the extinct wolf back in life. They call direwolf. They died 10,000 years ago before human civilization. They died. They found gene present in inside a tooth of 72,000-year-old skull, fossilized skull of 72,000 years ago, my dear. We were before Homo sapien Neanderthalensis. 72,000 old direwolf skull tooth, they found DNA. And they found some more DNA of another fossil, which is around 13,000 years ago. 13,000. They have taken those DNA and then people, they have taken an egg from another living wolf. They have injected that DNA and they have transferred those fertilized eggs into a dog. They call the surrogate mother. The mother carried the pregnancy is called what? Surrogate mother. So surrogated in a dog. And they have produced people 3 pups. Right? They are billions of US dollars worth. They don't the exact location where they're going to rear them. Unknown 2,000 acres are reserved for them. These the dire wolf. So they can bring. They are now planning to bring back people. Dodo bird. Dodo bird lived in Murusi Island. Mauritius, Murusi. Aldinan Sri Vikramaratne Singh Pituwalkara Murusi Divinata Kilaya Aldinne Mauritius. There was a bird when the Dutch settlers they settle there, they kill and then enjoy the flesh of those birds and then they extinct. So they're going to bring them back alive. They're going to bring the mammoths back in life. So you'll see that the woolly mammoth in Asalaperhara one day, yeah. Like a teddy bear, woolly mammoth, they have a lot of wool. How about they bring back dinosaurs once again? T-Rex. Huh? So same technology, when you go to the extreme people, it create problems. So therefore, solving some legal and ethical issues. When we have technology, when it come people, we have to be careful because it can cause harm for human. Now, you can give your blood sample. Sometimes doctors ask you to get done some blood test. You go with fever and vomiting and diarrhea, and then the doctor wants you to get done a blood test. Dengue to kila balanda test karangende kila. Now, with that blood sample, the the lab technician can do a lot of things. Now the technology is there. He can read your DNA with $200 cost. He can read your genetic information. You go and give, and then they give you the blood report. Hari, you are contact with dengue and something. You take the report, you go home. But then the blood sample is with him. He can do a lot of things with that. He can analyze your DNA. I don't know the purpose, but in future people, these are going to be some issues. Now, with studying DNA people about you, we can say most of the things about you we can reveal. We don't need even test exams, GCA level, no need it. We can check your intelligence with by reading your genetic code. We can check how long that you are going to survive. We can with normal if you live normal, and then we can check whether you're going to get cancer and other diseases in future. All these things can be read by simply reading your DNA. How about if you put that in Facebook on the next day? This girl is having all these diseases in future. She's having this cancer gene and going to be sick when in her 40s. If they publish them, all people, they are violating the ethics, right? Now, people, even cloning technology is there. We can clone. You have one single your cell is enough people to make a copy of you. Cloning technology is there. This is shocking to see this one, right? Shocking to see this. This is called artificial womb. Artificial womb. They put a lamb in a water tank. So we don't need a womb. We don't need a womb to, we don't need a womb for human. We can produce them in people artificial womb like this. Right? So in future people, there won't be any parents. You heard people they are planning to make robots which can carry human fertilized eggs. You give it to the robot has a water tank here, and the egg is going to grow inside. And then the mom, the surrogate mother is going to be the robot. So then you lose your connection with your parents. In future world, because they are born to a robot. So they have to call mom to the robot. Robot comes from a company. So they belongs to a company. IMS robotic company. ඒක රොබෝලා බබාලා නේද? එහෙම අයට ගන්න අපි අනාගතයේනේ. So it goes like that. So people, in future, therefore, so many issues are going to be there with the technology. Ethical issues are there. And then people, the presently DNA technology. Now, DNA technology is interesting. We call DNA fingerprinting. There's a long story about this, but we'll come into that later. This is your hand. They do it nicely. This is your hand. This is you. That's you. And then people, then people, you have, these are what you call fingerprints. They are fingerprint. If you touch anything, any object, a pen, pencil, a doorknob, whatever, with your fingers, there are tiny markings on your skin. And they're unique to you. There are anyone else on this earth that has exactly the same mark like you. Sometimes you put glue on your hand and let it dry, and then carefully remove it, and then you get your finger mark on it, on glue. Right? So we can obtain people similar fingerprint. It's actually not a fingerprint, it's something like a barcode. We can obtain a barcode based on your DNA. If you take your DNA, we can make a barcode like this. DNA barcode. We call this as DNA fingerprint. DNA fingerprint. This is called as DNA fingerprint. So what is DNA fingerprint? We take your DNA, then we make a barcode with that. This is unique to you like a fingerprint. Therefore, we call this as DNA fingerprint because of this uniqueness. We call it as what people? DNA fingerprint. In any criminal event, think that people house is burned down by a criminal. This happened in Hokandar, Sri Lanka. 7 people were killed inside the house. That was the worst case in Sri Lanka, Hokandar. They use this fingerprinting technology. Normally, people, the criminals, when they do some crime action, they don't just leave. These Hokandara people, they have a biscuit that was in the kitchen cupboard. Those buggers went and opened the kitchen cupboard, found a biscuit in there, and then they ate biscuit. Batteries. Then they have no, okay. Okay. Then they have pee in the bathroom. They have made it messy. Every time people, when they involve in these activities, they are releasing their DNA. They have raped one girl, killed her and raped. And so they have left people so many DNA evidence inside the house. They collected those DNA and then people made the barcode with the criminal crime site DNA. Right? They give the same barcode. So the police had taken the suspects. Now, when some incident happened, there are some suspects, right? So what they had done, suspected individuals, their DNA they have taken and then matched with the crime scene DNA sample to find the criminals. And it didn't work. The trial didn't go well. This Hokandara case, DNA. But it was the first time people to use DNA evidence in Sri Lanka. Right? Fingerprinting. So sometimes fingerprinting can be used to find criminals. Not only that, sometimes fingerprinting is also used to find parents. Tsunami baby 81. Elder to you now. Right? In tsunami, they found a baby and they couldn't figure out the parents. So they did the DNA testing, fingerprinting for the suspected parents and to the baby to find the right parents of the baby. This is done people also in immigration dispute. Think that people, someone is deported, like Makadure Madush, Kanjipan Imran. Yeah, sometimes the criminals, when they get caught people in a different country, they deport them and then send them to Sri Lanka. Now here people, they can make fraud documents. And then they change their name, change their picture, they shave and then make different hairstyle. If they want to, they can even plant hair, and then have long hair. And then they can go to the same country back again. So what they do in deporting, they take DNA sample and store it. In the arrivals, suspected individuals, they check the a DNA and try to find out whether they are involved in criminal activities, right, or not. So this we call as the immigration disputes. They can handle that, right? Sometimes the sometimes to apply visa. Think that your aunt is in Australia. You want to apply visa and you give all the documents saying that it's my auntie there. She's going to like support me for my education and this and that. Then you have to prove that she is your auntie. You can provide the fraud documents. The immigration officers are not going to accept it. What they ask now, give a DNA sample. We'll find whether he's your true auntie or not. Right. So therefore, for immigration disputes, they can handle with what people? DNA technology. Clearly, right? Let's write there. Right there, solving some legal and ethical issues right there. Knowledge and application of biological concept. Knowledge and application of biological concepts. Knowledge and application of biological concept is important in knowledge and application of biological concept is important in solving 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 some legal issues, solving some legal issues, solving some legal issues such as parentage testing, such as parentage testing, parentage testing, criminal investigations, criminal investigations, and solving immigration disputes, and solving immigration, immigration, immigration dispute, disputes, disputes. DNA fingerprinting is used. Immigration disputes. DNA fingerprinting is used. DNA fingerprinting is used in above circumstances. In above circumstances. In above circumstances. In above circumstances. Right. Then we have to go to a new topic. We'll go in that next week. So now is it clear, people? Next week, we are going to do the class. If you can come physical, fine. But we'll inform this. Be in touch. Be in touch. All of you, did you write this number? It's given in my book also. My book on that side is printed. You can call, message, WhatsApp, any number, okay? Don't Telegram, huh? WhatsApp, okay? WhatsApp these numbers. We'll inform you properly, people, what our plan next week. If you're doing online, we'll give you the Zoom link also with a message. Join with the group. Right? WhatsApp me, then ask me to send the group link. If you have already joined, it's fine. Now we have a group, ne? IMS can be English medium, IMS can be commerce science group. Join with that, hurry. Commerce and science doesn't matter. I will rename this now as science group, okay? Right. The group name is called IMS can be English medium. IMS can be English medium. Hurry there. Join with that. We are going to do the class next week and week after both. Right? We'll see whether there is a situation for the physical class to conduct. We'll inform you. If possible, we'll take the physical class. You can come physically if there is no traffic and no much issue, people. Then let's join physically. If you can't come physically, you can join online. Just for 1 or 2 days maximum until these problems over. Thank you very much for your participation. Ayubowan, see you. Bye.